guys.
Hey, Kyle.
How are you?
Good to see you.
Good to see you. Yeah, it's funny. I've talked to all of you individually about this, and it's great that we can all get together and talk about regeneration and regenerative agriculture. So thanks for meeting me here.
Absolutely.
It was funny. I was thinking when I was coming in, I was thinking about the first time I was at the Expo West 3 years ago, and I did a panel on regenerative agriculture with Savory, with Chris Kirsten from Savory. And it was the first time, I think, that we had ever discussed regenerative agriculture at Expo. And so it got me thinking about how much this movement has really evolved. But from our standpoint, we're also seeing it in the broader business community. It's not just about regenerating the soil. It's something that we hold near and dear to ourselves at Organic India. It's about regenerating the planet and regenerating the communities where we work. And so I thought it'd be fun to just get together and talk a little bit about how you guys are seeing that evolve.
Yeah, part of what really excites me and some of the energy that I've seen in the industry at expos and other things, to me is really about just how compelling an idea this is. A lot of our industry focus has been positively focused over the last, or motivated over the last 40 years. At the same time, I think we're coming out of a period where we were very focused on removal of negative things, right? The GMO battle and all these other things that to have the conversation of regeneration and regenerative ag is such a positive investment that people can make emotionally, but also with their businesses. I just see it connecting in a way with people that we haven't seen something connected in a long while.
And going back, when we first started in this space, we've been big believers in regenerative business. Before that was a buzzword, and I think the work that Rodale Institute's doing is not only showing that, but proving that if we do it at a big enough scale, we can actually reverse some of the damage. And so this idea of starting with the soil as a way to regenerate is a really powerful movement. Are you seeing other companies starting to engage in that discussion?
Oh, absolutely. And I think that's where the regenerative organic certification notion came from, was Dr. Bronner's and Patagonia's seeing that we have to do more, right? And we have to focus on the regenerative properties and have it be all-encompassing. It's not just about the soil, it's about animal rights, and it's about fair worker rights. And so we have these three beautiful pillars that help move the movement forward.
Well, that's where I think the mindsets really come in, and how we work with how people relate with change. And we kind of cling to what we know. And so helping people let go of this reality to move into another reality is a really important part of shifting to this new movement.
The market for regeneration may be at that tipping point where it will force to get more land, it will force to get more businesses engaged. And I saw recently, even BlackRock of all places is now asking companies to list a social mission, and if they don't, it's going to dissuade them from investing. It's the exact opposite of how it was 10 years ago.
Yeah. Our younger consumers are definitely approaching commerce, honestly, in a different way. But it has been the add-on effect of each generation growing up with new knowledge, new exposure to information, accelerated by the internet and everything that we have in terms of access to information today, that has actually produced a huge change in how consumers are thinking. Time and time again, when we ask millennial consumers relative to Xers and Boomers about things like willing to pay more for socially responsible, willing to engage through commerce in companies supporting environmental responsibility and social responsibility, almost all of these measures show about a 30 percentage point difference between what our Boomer generation showed, who started the movement, and the millennials who are really carrying the movement today.
How do you see companies coming together to kind of drive scale around this movement? Because most of us are pretty small to begin with.
Associations of business groups are getting stronger. For example, the Social Venture Network, but also Naturally Boulder. And they're beginning to expand because they're seeing that the benefit of working together allows them to do things like create a training program for leaders that could benefit everyone where they don't have to do that individually.
One of the things that we talk about when we talk about regeneration is there is this side effect of regeneration that's really a side benefit, not a side effect, which is climate change. Can you talk a little bit more about maybe how we can tie the idea of regeneration to this big challenge around climate change?
Well, Well, I think when we talk about groups coming together, I think the Climate Collaborative is a great example of a new organization. What they launched last year, they're going to have an announcement that they have well over 100 companies who are coming together and bringing up the idea that all of our business practices have to address climate change in one way or another.
Right, if we're really going to connect with the most number of consumers, with the most number of policy influencers, with the most number of farmers, we need to develop a pretty nuanced way of talking about this, right? Right now, we're all very focused on the excitement of all these different things, but I think we need to get smart and more nuanced about where we communicate which message and to whom to maximize the appeal of this entire movement.
If we're successful in doing this, what does this look like 10 years from now? What is this conversation? Who's involved in this conversation? How are businesses engaged? What does this look like 10 years from now?
Hopefully we reverse the 1% and maybe change it up, and maybe it's only 1% is conventional. And then
That would be great.
yeah.
Across the board, there are these major institutions that are either barriers or facilitators to this change. And in 10 years, hopefully we really see that, it didn't take 10 years, but hopefully we see that we have all of those different engines of change working together in a meaningful way, such that we are accelerating towards 99% as opposed to 1%.
We can work at the individual level, at the small group or team level, but maybe the best place to intervene is at the organizational level, to help organizations, because they have the ability to do this work within their own boundaries.
Well, this has been a lot of fun. Thanks so much for making the time.
Absolutely.
Hopefully we can continue the conversation and get together for tea again in the future.
Great, thanks so much.
Thank you.
Absolutely.